Now, I thought this would just be a simple interview with a really interesting person, but no, because, right, just explain, David, what this is now. So, well, first of all, hi to David. David,
Morning, how you doing? Hi,
I'm
Gareth.
very well. Now, you are known as the TikTok vicar.
Yes, yeah, apparently so. I mean, it's not a moniker I made up for myself. Well, I don't know, it kind of is, I guess, but yeah, that's me.
And so we've set the scene a little bit, but now this is weird because I am really excited the fact that our interview is going out on your TikTok live. So, in a sense, you are streaming us and we're streaming you because I'm on TikTok right now. This is weird.
Yeah, it is. And what's weird now is that I'm looking at Zoom and I can see myself
Wow.
looking at myself on TikTok whilst also being live streamed on TikTok. It's a bit of a, yeah, it's
It's so
weird,
confusing.
but it is
So,
quite confusing.
what we could do is to make it even more confusing. And if anybody is on TikTok at the moment, and if you want to go live, and if you want to do that, could somebody watch you on TikTok whilst they're on TikTok live? And it would end up this weird
Yeah,
circle of social
Some
media.
OODA loop.
it would.
Be
We'd probably go
weird.
back in time or create some kind of time loop, wouldn't we?
Well, that would bring the funds in if we did
Yeah.
that. Can you imagine that? So, David, people may have seen you on things like Good Morning Britain. And you're basically, I guess you're bringing Christianity in a bite-sized format. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I guess so. It probably is, and it wasn't ever the plan, to be honest. So I began on TikTok in lockdown as a bit of a joke because just doing the silly video. I don't know if you know much about TikTok, but it's full of quite silly videos and silly dancing, and that's what I went into to begin with. I'm no dancer, but I enjoy being a bit of a fool, so I did that. And then I did one video which was a bit of a brief kind of prayer request video. If you want me to pray for you, drop a comment below. And that became quite popular, and that started me thinking maybe there's something here that I could do for ministry, and it kind of started from there, really.
And I find this incredible because when we introduce people to Christianity, we
Mm.
almost have this idea that, well, it won't be accepted.
Yeah,
They'll say no to it. If I ask them for prayer,
yeah,
they'll say, go away, you're weird, all that kind of
yeah.
stuff. But I don't think I hear very often people
No.
like you were saying who have said, actually, on social media, I'll pray for you. You don't tend to get many people say, nope, I refuse to be prayed for. I'd prefer to suffer alone.
Exactly. No, I think you're right. There is a, and I think it's actually there's a growing. I mean, this quiet revival stuff that we might be we might have heard about. I think there is a growing both acceptance and eagerness actually to look at those things. I mean, occasionally you get people, the kind of the people that wave the flag of the new atheism, which is no longer as popular as it used to be when Richard Dawkins and others were kind of waving the flag for that maybe 10 years ago. But I know I overwhelmingly, I have positive responses to people, and even people that aren't Christians saying, "Yeah, actually, I would like you to pray for me. I'm interested in faith. Can you send me a Bible?" And I am a card-carrying evangelical. I believe that the teaching of Christian, but that doesn't put people off. Um, People have been happy to be engaged in those conversations. Yeah, so and that did surprise me. I was expecting to have a lot of aggro, but it's only happened once or twice.
Maybe
I've
it's
only
one
been
of
banned for a
those.
week.
Have you been banned off social
Yes.
media? What
Yeah,
for?
I had a ban on TikTok, but we were having a debate about a topic in church that can be quite
Yeah,
topical, let's say it like
right.
that. And I had a certain view and was banned for 5 days, which was it. I kind of wore it as a bit of a badge of honor, if I'm honest. But really interestingly, lots of people, even those that didn't agree with me, were like, "This is ridiculous. What's going on?" So that was really interesting as well.
Was there an element of you that was a little bit worried? Because I don't know your age, but I'm assuming you're younger than me because you've still got your hairline intact.
It's
But
good gel. It's good gel. I'm
yeah,
38. Thank you, Gareth. I'm 38.
so
Okay.
I am 41. I know that I look like I've had a very long paper round over several fields, but was there an element of you that thought TikTok's for young people? And I don't think that I'll be suited on that platform, especially doing the dances, because you see some people of
Yeah.
maybe a younger age doing these dances and they're very good. And then
Yeah.
if I was to attempt it, I I don't think I could bring myself to it.
Yes, I mean, and I mean, maybe because I don't know, but I know that I cannot do that, and so I've realised that actually I just have to embrace being a nearly middle age. I'm not sure 38 is middle age. I don't think it quite is, but I'm going to say it's not. But I have to, I think I've decided to embrace the nearly middle-aged vicar that is a bit cringy, is a bit cheesy, but just kind of take it. So I used to be a geography teacher, so I'm not a cool person, and
Don't
a
be so
part of
hard
my
on yourself.
I don't know. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And part of my teaching style actually was to be a bit cringy because it kind of made the kids go, "Oh no, don't say that, sir." And I kind of try and do that on TikTok, really. Don't take myself too seriously. And I'm really lucky to have an amazing wife, Kimberly, who is quick to tell me that I am not 18, I am 38. And even though occasionally you might think you're a young adult and down with the kids, you're not. Don't even, don't even think that.
Have you
All
got
spoken
kids?
in love and truth, of course.
Have you got kids, David?
Yes, I've got three children. They're 10, 8, and 6.
What do they think about this that dad's on TikTok? Because I've got a 3-year-old, a 7-year
Yeah.
old, and a 9-year old. Now, the difference in them, my 3-year old and my 7-year old boys, if I told them I'm on TikTok, daddy is the coolest man in the world. If I told
Yeah.
my 9-year old daughter,
Yeah.
she would probably say, "Why are you on TikTok, daddy? That's very
Yeah.
embarrassing." And she's only 9.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you, our kids don't, well, the kids don't have TikTok themselves, but they know what it is. And I think my oldest son, he's 10, and I think he's slightly proud and slightly embarrassed about it. My youngest son is just embarrassed. There's no sense of, wow, Dad, I'm really proud of your ministry. No, it's definitely what are you doing? You're so embarrassing. Please stop. Um, but yeah, the oldest one is I think slightly more bashfully proud of it. Yes.
And where do you want to take this? Because we had on the show on Monday Rev Dan, who has
Okay.
got quite a big following on YouTube.
Okay.
So you've got your following on TikTok. Do
Yes.
you think that this could become for you a full-time job and you find yourself leaving daytime ministry?
I mean, if I'm honest, I hope not because I often have to kick myself that I am paid by the Church of England to tell people about Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, most Christians, they do that and as well as having an actual real job. My job is, I am paid to read the Bible, to prepare sermons, to baptize people, to pray for people. I mean, and I'm often like, is this an actual practical joke? I said to my bishop a few months ago, I wrote him a card just to say, thank you so much for paying me to do, it's great
Wow.
fun. And I do love TikTok and I really enjoy it, but at the moment, it's something that's happened by mistake. And I don't know where it'll end up, to be honest. When I started doing it, I had no idea that it would become what it is now. So we now do a weekly service on TikTok on a Sunday night. And
Wow.
it's called TikTok Church. And we don't get hundreds of people. We get between, I don't know, 30 and 100 people. For them, that's church. And that's a bigger discussion, isn't it? About what is
Well,
church?
this
But
is
for
the
them,
thing,
it's
isn't
a
it? Because as you're hinting to here,
mm,
Jesus would have been doing this. I don't mean
yeah,
TikTok dances. Maybe he would, but
who knows?
Jesus would have been where the people are. He
Yeah.
would have gone to them. When we read
Mhm.
in the Bible, it's not like, well, he was in the churches and he was waiting for the people to come to him. He was out there going where the people need to be saved. And
Yeah.
if you want to reach the young people, like presumably you do, and to tell them
Yeah.
the hope and the truth that we have in Jesus, you
Yeah.
need to go where the young people are.
Yeah, definitely. And TikTok is the biggest growing app. It's the most used, it's the most downloaded app, it's the most popular app, it's the app that's growing the most as well. And I mean, and it's quite easy. I'm not a technical guy. I don't, I mean, if you've watched my TikToks, you've seen they're not polished. I just press go and do it. I don't practice or anything like that. I just give it a go. And we've seen amazing. I know of people that have come to faith on TikTok. I've linked them into their local church and they've been baptized. I know of people that have been delivered of evil spirits, and found ministry and been delivered from witchcraft and stuff. And their journey started with TikTok. God's doing amazing stuff on it. We've sent out nearly 3,000 Bibles since May last year to people who've got in touch on TikTok and said, I'd
That
like a
is
Bible.
amazing.
We often have a Monday morning kind of Bible packing party, 10, 15 people from
Wow.
church who pray over the Bibles. We post them up, we send them out. It's just amazing.
That is amazing.
Amazing.
And all of that is through TikTok.
Yes, it's all through. It's all come
I
through
would have
TikTok. So,
never, if you'd have asked me and said, how many Bibles do you reckon
yeah.
we've sent out because of TikTok? I would have guessed, and this is no offense to you and your ability, but I just assume that social media tends to be a bit of a battleground.
Hmm.
I'd have said maybe 30.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thousands of them have
And
gone
like,
out.
and I'm really encouraged by it because, like you hinted at, it's clearly God. It's not me or the church. It
Yeah.
must be a move of the Spirit because. Yeah, well, I'm not selling them. I'm not on there doing. I literally did a video, a 5 second video of me dancing around like a bit of a loon with a Bible saying, if you'd like, and I sang an awful song that I made up on the spot. If you want a Bible, message me for a free one. And within a day, I'd had hundreds of messages flood in. Yeah, within a week, we'd had 500, 600 messages. I was having to ring St Andrew's Bookshop and other places saying, can you help? And it was just, yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's clearly the Lord at
Wow.
work. Just so
What
good.
great work you and the team over there are doing. And I love the fact that young people can be on TikTok
Yeah,
and they can actually be asking those
yeah.
difficult questions. And there's somebody like you on hand to answer them because seeing a lot of young people, it's not the fact that they don't believe, it's just the fact that they don't know who to ask and they
Yeah,
don't know where to go to.
Also,
exactly.
hi, it's Gary here. We
Oh, yeah.
also there's a real view that social media is almost has a negative view for many people, particularly
Hmm.
for young people. And oh,
Mm.
they're always on their phones and they've always got this, and it's not good for them. So it's great to hear that it can be used for good as well.
Yeah, I think so. And I've had this chat a few times with people that say, "Oh, should you be on TikTok?" With all the debates about, yeah, the is it ethically right to be on social media, and there is some dodgy stuff on there. There's witch talk, which is quite a big thing on TikTok of people actually doing tarot
Mm.
and stuff online. But our God's bigger than that. And I think, what, we've got to be the light in the darkness. I know it sounds cheesy, but we've got to be in there speaking people, pointing people to Jesus. It's John 10:10, isn't it? He is the way, the truth, the life. He's the one that comes to give life in all its fullness. There's no other way to life in all its fullness.
I mean, when
Um,
Jesus was here, he spent his time with tax collectors
I
and
was just
yeah,
prostitutes and sinners,
yeah,
so
I was
exactly.
just
Yeah,
about to say
bring
that.
light in the dark
Yeah.
places.
So
yeah,
if you've got people sharing that nonsense about tarot card reading and all this
yeah,
dark arts, then people like you need to be there counteracting that and bringing the light there, not avoiding it and sort of hiding
exactly. Yeah,
away.
yeah,
While they're,
definitely
while
not. I
they're
think
doing
we.
palm readings, you could do psalm readings for
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I have on
Wow.
occasion I've got a deck of something. There's something called the Jesus deck. I don't know if you've heard of it, and
Mm.
it's cards that are designed to look like tarot cards, but actually there's different psalms and parts of the Bible. And I've been a bit naughty before. I've put my camera on and I've put some candles out and I've put the cards out. And I've done a Jesus card reading, and you get loads of people, oh, can you do a reading for me? I'm like, of course I can. The Lord's
Jesus
your
Lord.
shepherd, you shall not want, and all this stuff.
Wow.
I'm trying to reclaim. I mean, again, that's a different debate. Is that right or not? But I'm a bit like, let's reclaim. Let's use the enemy's tricks. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Well, let's use his tricks against him. In my in
But is it this is the kind of thing that I believe, and I'm not sure if Gary agrees or not, but we should be kind of doing this in a creative way.
Yeah,
Something that is exciting and something
yeah,
that, I mean, even now talking to you and hearing about these Bibles going out and the young people getting these Bibles for free and sat there in their rooms, not
yeah.
necessarily on Minecraft, but
No,
they're reading the Bible. That
yeah.
excites me.
It
That
is
gets me
amazing,
really
isn't it?
going.
And you think of these 3,000 Bibles going across the country to people who I've not met, but the power of, it's the power unto salvation, isn't it? The word of God. And so it's just so exciting that these people are opening the Bibles, meeting with Jesus, And what I just love how good the Lord is, in His providence. That I try and send a letter out with each Bible, suggesting people start in the Gospels, not in Leviticus, for example. So get to know Jesus, and then read the Old Testament through the lens of Jesus, all that stuff. And then there was one Bible that I clearly forgot to put the letter in, and I got a message from this young lady who said, "Oh, I've got to." Yeah, wait, I got to Deuteronomy and it's tough going, but I've given my life to Jesus. And I'm like, who would have thought that plowing through Genesis, Deuteronomy, and Leviticus would bring you to know the Lord? But who am I to say how he can work? I mean,
That's
he
it.
doesn't need my
And
help.
yeah, I mean, this is the thing that I always thought. I was like, well, if I don't say the right words on the radio and somebody doesn't come to Christ, and then I was talking to my vicar and he said, don't be so arrogant, Gareth. Do you really think that the creator of the world needs Gareth, who he does love dearly, as he does us all? He needs you to say the right things at the right place, or this person's salvation will not happen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's quite humbling, isn't it? That God allows us to join in the great mission that he's on of bringing people to him. But yeah, if we make a mistake, he can still do it. He's not going to go, oh no, David said the wrong thing. What am I going to do now? He's got his theology wrong again. What is he like?
Do you know what, David? It has been an absolute joy speaking to you this morning.
I've
Thank you
loved it. Thanks
so
so
much.
much.
And thank you for being so generous with your TikTok followers as well. So
Love
they
it.
are watching this because you're streaming it live. And how can people find you on TikTok to get involved with your lives?
Great. Well, they can find the very original name that I have, which is TikTok Vicar. So if they search for TikTok Vicar, they'll find me. There are other vicars on TikTok as well, which they are welcome to follow, but I'd love
Hmm.
them to follow me. But ultimately, they need to follow Jesus. So if you don't yet know Jesus, I'd love you to follow me, but I'd more like you to follow him, to be honest. But yeah,
David,
that's how to do it.
thank you very much. Wonderful to have you on board. And hopefully we can have you on again sometime soon.
I'd love that. That'd be great. Thanks for having me this early in the morning. Thank you.